I am constantly searching and looking for good deals on truly wireless headphones, headphones that offer a lot of features with better than average build quality at a reasonable price. And that has led me today to one of my newest candidates for something that really might be an excellent combination of build quality, design, features, and overall good user experience in the Awei T10C. Now, before we do that, we have to hit the intro. Hey guys, my name is Mitchell. If you guys want to buy these, I found these for a really good deal in the description down below on AliExpress for under $25, and I'll leave links to all of the potential affiliates that I can find for you guys to buy them from. Also, if you guys want to get a hold of me, Twitter is the best way. If you want to share your mobile photography with me, go ahead and check out XIAOMI. It's a place where I share your content. As always, we're going to be having a written review on these headphones on my website. Enough talking. The Awei T10C was something that really surprised me. When the company reached out to send them to me, I thought, oh, it's another pair of $20 headphones. I'll review them, I'll say they probably break or they will break within a month because a lot of cheap headphones don't have a long lifespan. But I've been using these now for like two and a half weeks, and I've been really surprised. Now, as always with all my reviews, we are going to start with the design, and the design of the case is really kind of inoffensive. It's not a great design, it's not a terrible design, but the case has a couple of design features and characteristics that, in my opinion, make it stand out when compared to a product like the Haylou GT1s. The first is the actual just materials of the case. They're solid, matte plastic, it doesn't scratch, it doesn't pick up fingerprints, and the case looks really good even after using it for 2 weeks. The top of the case features cutouts for the headphones, so they help kind of sit flush inside, and I really like that. On the front of the case, we have 4 indicator lights, which to me is a kind of a necessity when using truly wireless headphones, knowing when you need to top up the case, because more often than not, the headphones don't have great battery life. Also, something to note is that this case does feature Qi wireless charging, which at under 30 bucks, these might be the cheapest true wireless headphones that feature Qi wireless charging. And in my opinion, the Qi wireless charging kind of makes up for the fact that we have a micro USB connection on the back. That's talking about the design of the case. Now, talking about the design of the headphones themselves, they do have a stem similar to the Apple AirPods, but they feature like an ergonomic bend so that you can have them in your ear. They sit pretty comfortably, and the stem goes down your cheek. Now, one thing I do want to criticize these headphones for is, unlike Apple's AirPods or even unlike the Xiaomi AirDots Pro, they don't have a microphone at the end of the stem, which is really frustrating because if they utilized a better microphone placement design or a better microphone placement, these would give us really good call quality because it'd be a directional microphone.
We are trying to get these headphones connected, but we're out here on the street. We got the motorbikes going by. How do I sound? How do I sound?
Unfortunately, at the $25 price point that these things come in at, I understand not having a more sophisticated design, but I think it's a missed opportunity. The next thing is like the actual length of the stem that goes inside of your ear, or the ear tip. And for me, with the largest ear gels, they fit flush and they offer more than ample sound isolation from the outside world. Not as good as we would have with the Sabit E12s or even like the XIAOMI Pros, but they do feature a lot of passive noise isolation from the outside world. I find that the fit is pretty comfortable for most listening sessions. When I first got these and I used the large ear gels, I had weird like fitment issues and they weren't necessarily comfortable. But after kind of like realizing how I need to have them in my ears, I can wear these for an hour, hour and a half at a time without much discomfort. They're not the most comfortable headphones I've used. That would be the Sabit E12s, but they are quite comfortable. Next, we're going to talk about the range. Now, in my range tests with these got close to 25, 30 meters-ish, and they did not cut out until I went out of direct line of sight. So for Bluetooth 5.0 headphones, I would say it's pretty good. The connection I have noticed with these has been stable when walking on the street, and like intermittent dropouts are something that I haven't really noticed or been able to complain about. Depending upon the environment that you are in, if you have more radio interference, that could change that. But overall, these are some of the more stable headphones that I've experienced. Now to talk about latency, and I'll put up the latency test right now for you guys. Because there's a greater number of devices that are Snapdragon based, bits and pieces of other ROMs can be taken from other devices, and the overall development process can be a little bit easier. Now this brings us back to the question of whether or not we are going to see kernel development for the Redmi Note 8 Pro. Now as you can tell by the latency on these is more or less in line with most other SBC codec audio headphones that we see on the market. The reason why we see a lower latency with SBC is because it doesn't have to do the same type of encoding as headphones that utilize AAC do. Now to come to the most important part of this entire video, which is the controls. The controls on these are excellent. It offers the full suite of controls, skipping tracks forward and back, playing, pausing, bringing up assistant, and changing the volume all from the headphones, which is something that, in my opinion, giving us that extra layer of control in regards to being able to control the volume puts them ahead of other headphones from brands like QCY and Haylou. In my opinion, controls might be one of the most important things on a pair of true wireless headphones. Sound quality is something that is quite subjective in regards to what people like and dislike. And I did initial impressions of the sound quality of these in my initial impressions of them in that video. And with more and more testing, I would say that sound quality for these is kind of in line with everything else we see at like the $20 price point. I think that they might sound a little bit better than the Hayloos. They definitely sound better than the Redmi AirDots. I think they definitely sound as good, if not, they sound better than the Xiaomi AirDots. And they probably sound, if I could quantify them as close to another pair of headphones, I would say that they sound pretty similar to the QCY T1 Pro, which is a totally acceptable thing given the price point. They don't sound amazing with rock and roll. They don't sound amazing with vocals, but if you're listening to mostly popular electronic music or hip hop, they feature good bass, a decent amount of definition in the vocals and like kind of the mids. But when you listen to music like Santana, when you listen to music like classic rock and roll, like AC/DC, that's when these headphones really kind of begin to fall apart, is when you're listening to rock music or when you're listening to music that requires a greater definition between things at a similar pitch and tone. That's when these headphones begin to fall apart. So for most people, if you're not a classic rock lover or you're not a rock and roll lover, these headphones will be more than satisfactory given the price. This entire portion of the review has been more of the objective stuff, or me trying to be as objective as possible. And now we're going to get into the subjective part, or what my opinion is necessarily on the usage and what these headphones are and kind of my experience. Overall, I tell most people not to buy the $20 true wireless headphones. I think that headphones that are so cheap often break, and you end up breaking a pair of headphones and looking to buy another pair, which ends up costing you more money than just buying a slightly nicer pair. So buying the cheapest product is actually more expensive than buying a slightly more expensive product in the grand kind of picture. That said, there's nothing about these headphones that strikes me as like immediately cheap or flimsy. Awei T10C's the case doesn't feel especially cheap. The case has a fair amount of features and a decent design. The hinge mechanism is great. It could be something that's better in the engineering. I don't know, but my experience with these has been really good for an entry-level price point pair of headphones. Now, this is the part that everyone's just going to probably want to jump to, which is, are they worth it? And I would say that if someone gave me $20, $25, let's say, and I was forced to buy a pair of headphones at that price point, with everything that I've tried, with everything that I've tested, can't forget my fake AirPods, and they said you have to buy a pair of headphones that are at the $25 price point, I am purchasing either the XIAOMI T10Cs or the Awei T10Cs at like the $25, under $30 price point. These are my two picks. So if you guys want to know what headphones I would buy, if I could only buy a pair of headphones that cost $25, which I wouldn't do, but if that was my budget, these would be my picks. And because of the controls and the ability to manipulate the volume, it's going to put the Aweis over the XIAOMI. So right now, these are my current king for like ultra budget headphones. If you guys want to buy these, I have a link for them for under $25 on AliExpress, and it's a pretty good deal. And I will leave links to all the places I can find these for you guys to support me. I'll have a written write-up of these on my website as soon as I can. And if you guys want to see a comparison with the XIAOMI T10C or any of these other headphones, let me know which headphones you want them compared to directly in the comment section down below. And then if you guys want to see a review of the T10Cs or of any of these headphones, click these playlists that I have up here. Until next time, it's been Mitchell coming to you guys from Hanoi. Hua Bing. Peace.